I do know that there is, I know that there's a suddenness to his passing. I know that there is an impact on my right-hand side here, and I do feel like he's in his 20s, 21, 22, when he passes. I do feel like there's a big inquiry, and I do feel that there's questions about who else was in the vehicle, who else was in the car, and what on earth had happened for the car to end in that way. I'm just trying to figure this out. I know that the name of Michael is called out to me here, and I do feel, Michael, I know I want to acknowledge my sister who's still here, and I do feel like I'm here for my mum. Let me see what else. I know he's a very quiet boy, and I know that he just feels like he had the whole world ahead of him. Just those 3 months prior, like he'd finally got his act together. So there's like a year or two where I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do in my life. I couldn't work out what job or trade, and so that's what I feel like. He was just about to start on a trade or a new path in his life. And I know that it's late at night when this happens, and I feel like I was not so far from my home. Can anyone understand that? The lady at the back there, in the pink, can you understand that information? Or anyone just in that area there? Pink, someone just said pink. Who's got pink? Michael, young man. And what about you? Just feel like I'm over here somewhere. So what could you understand there?
Michael,
yes.
The age,
yes.
Impact to the head, sister still here, inquiry.
Sure, because I'm very aware of a lot of sirens and lights
but
and
there
things.
was no car, so.
Okay,
yeah.
all right, so it might be my misinterpretation.
Yeah, but everything else I can, but it's not the car.
No problem. That feels important, the car, actually.
Yeah.
So I can place the Michael that was involved in a car accident. It happened during the day,
Yes.
and I think the age would be about right. His sister is still living, and I've recently contacted his mum.
That feels better. That feels better. And yours is Michael.
Correct, yes.
And would you understand the car flipping or spinning? Yeah. So that's better, that's better. So you would understand the car spinning or flipping?
It happened in a major intersection.
Sure. Okay, that feels okay. And would you also understand that there was others in the car?
That's right.
Sure, okay. And would you also understand that I've got this thing of like drink driving or someone else at fault, not his fault, not my fault?
So there was drinks in the car.
Yeah.
He wasn't drinking. He was a responsible driver.
Yeah, I feel that with him, absolutely.
The other vehicle was at fault.
Sure, okay, because I just know there's in the inquiry, I do feel like there's the newspaper clippings there that come about with him, and I do know that there is so much effort. 3 people, yeah. So would you understand 3 people in the vehicle? Beautiful. And would you also are you able to start to recognise the eyes of this beautiful young man here?
It does look like him, yes.
Yeah. So welcome, Michael. And he feels like such a fun character. He feels like such a happy soul. But I know that there's times prior to that where he really was trying to find himself. Trying to find myself, he says to me. But would you also, tell them I'm okay. Would you also understand the name of Rachel that's called out here? Rachel?
I wouldn't be able to place the Rachel with him.
Okay, that's fine, because I just know it speaks of Rachel here to me. And, sorry, I was going to say something else. And with Emily. Do you understand Emily?
I guess, the family could have expanded since I've been in contact with him. It was quite some time ago that he was passed.
No problem. So would you also understand the month of February? Here,
February.
Yeah, February feels in that time of his passing. Okay. So I know that there's, and also with the trade or the job or the work or this thing that had happened just prior to him passing.
guess he was trying to establish himself. He didn't really know exactly
What he was doing,
At
yeah. I
that
get
age,
that
it's
feeling
sort of
with him, like he
difficult
really
to know
just...
where you want to be.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, he's still such a young man, so, and that's okay. But he feels so thoughtful and so, like he also, for a young man, he's quite a gentleman. So I know that he just says to me, you tell my mum, if you can, she raised me well. Like, those values that she instilled in him was so important, and even though she might not have seen it within around her, he was definitely like that outside of the family life. It is for my sister that I do feel like he really wanted to acknowledge.
Sure.
And if you've been in contact with them recently, I want to say congratulations to my sister. I feel like I want to almost sprinkle confetti all around her. Like there's a big celebration and a big milestone in her life.
Yep.
That's just happened. Okay. Oh, right. Okay, so would you be able to check that for me?
I could, yeah.
Yeah, if he did like terrible things to him, tormented his sister when they were younger. Yeah, oops. They do feel like they're quite close in age, brother sister, like a 2-year difference.
They are.
Yeah, and I just know that they were great mates when they were little, but they fought lots. So I know, and also I know it's funny we're talking about the hair, but I also want to apologise for her finger. I don't know if it's been jammed or cut on the rude finger, everybody. On the rude finger, as my son calls it. Oops, I've hurt my rude finger. Okay, so would you also understand that within the vehicle he had to be helped out?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. But I know that he just says, I'm happy as Larry now. And do you know that he just had a baby in his arms? So I know that it's really important to let my sister know, my family know, that I have the child with me. I have the child with me. So I feel that, I don't want to air anyone's stuff, but I just feel like that needs to go back. I do feel like it's a boy child there in the spirit world with him. And mum may know, okay. You know, I was going to say guitar before. Would you understand the guitar with me? The music?
I know the music is very important to you.
Yeah. But I feel like I've got like Metallica, I've got all sorts of different heavy loud music is my thing, it's my jam, and and maybe he thought he was better at guitar than what he actually was. Maybe a pop star now, interesting. So I know he had a real love of his music, and okay. I know it's a funny thing, like he just wants to say hello to you all, and but I do feel like I'm a friend to you also. Like I feel like he's my friend, he calls out to me now. Like you're part of my friendship group, like, and maybe our families were connected then in some way. Does that make sense for you?
Sure, we grew up together as kids.
Yeah, it feels like that, yeah.
So the friendship goes back 5
years to
primary school.
Yeah, because I just know it feels so, our families are intertwined and there's so many great memories, and I know he fills my head with this image of being fools, idiots, by the river. So jumping in or swinging off of this rope and into this water. So he's got a really fond memory of like, you get the tyre swing or just a knot rope. Do you understand what he's referring to there?
I can understand the water of significance there.
Because he's got so many fond memories, and it's a repeat place. It's a place we would go all the time. And whether it's for picnics, whether it's with family, but that's where we would go. And I know he just says hello to you and thank you for the friendship and all the years of growing up together, because you are kind of almost like a brother to him. And I know that you have worked really, really hard to look after my girls, he says, my girls. So I know that you have sent messages back to them before, so he trusts that you'll pass on all of his love. Would you also understand, maybe you might check with Mum, because you just said she still wears my necklace. She still wears my necklace, so there's like a medallion, or it feels like a small disc.
Sure. I can definitely cross-check it.
Yeah.
Sure that she has it.
She still wears my necklace, so whether it's Mum, whether it's sister, I don't even mind. But I know he was just always such a happy guy. And, he doesn't seem to be one that well, he's pointing to you now. I mean, he wasn't the one that instigated the trouble, but he would be certainly right there beside you.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, but I think he instigated some of the things, or put the idea in your head, but would certainly not take any of the credit or the blame for it. So he'd be like, he did it. So I know that he, yeah. I know you share lots of secrets growing up, and I know that. It's funny because he just says, I know you took the rap from him on more than one occasion, but you kind of, not that you took it or you admitted to it, you just both stood sullen and silent.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. So, shall I remind? We all want to know. I don't know with him, he says we could not, not telling, we could never steal enough food, so I don't know what we're doing there, like stealing food out of someone's, the chip packets or the food out of the pantry there. I feel like that's one occasion there where you both got into a lot of trouble.
I guess so. I mean, we're always on the run and we never had time to sit down and have a proper dinner. It was just Friday night we had to road and just grab something and go.
Yeah. I love it because he's just got a lot of love for you, and he's very, very proud of. He likes watching in on you. He does come close to you quite often, just to check in on you and just to snoop on you. But yeah, he does like what you're doing. Big tick, was it? He likes to watch what you're doing, and he thinks you're quite amazing with how many things you've done in your life. And I feel like you've done a few different things job-wise, and there's like he wants to almost put a medal on your chest, or a medal on your chest.
Okay.
So there's that feeling of you've come so far in the last 3 years in your work. You've worked so very, very hard. And it's that feeling of him wanting to acknowledge that he's seen how much in the lower lows and then the highs, but he's been with you in those times.
Yes.
So, but he will always pop in and say hello to Tom. Tom.
That's right.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I didn't realise until I said it. Beautiful. Oh, it's a lot of fun memories, a lot of shenanigans. Yes. Very good. So I'll leave all of his love and all of his fond memories of your time shared together. I'll leave that with you, and just know that he will come popping in whenever you need.
Thank you very much.
That's all right.